Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to be talking about sound effects, recording sound effects and lining them up with your short film. And I'm going to be using an example of the short film that we just filmed earlier last week. The one that I was talking about on last week's stream is in the can. Done, which is great. But it's a pretty unique project, and sound is a really big and difficult part of it. So I'm going to show you what's going on with A Stitch in Time. So for anyone who isn't aware of the project, it is a Super 8 film, and so we've been shooting it on an old Super 8 camera. Here it is, and the competition that it's for allows you to film in sequence in camera. So whatever you film is on the tape in sequence, mistakes and all, because it's just an entire reel of one-take wonders. And our film is very complicated. We have about 50 shots and lots of in-camera editing to worry about, and of course the sync is a really big and difficult part of it as well, because here's the rub. Once you've finished your cartridge, and of course the film it's silent, so you need to create your soundtrack and submit it separately. So this doesn't record audio, it's just an old celluloid 8mm film camera. So we complete our cartridge and send it away to get developed, and we don't get to see that. There isn't post-production process for this. You send it away, and the competition then commandeers that reel, and then we have to create our soundtrack, our music, blind, basically. We did it once before for our last short film, Fly Home, and we were quite successful with the sync. And doing it blind is a real challenge, but you've got to plan for it. Now, on the one hand, I know a lot of you may not be doing this competition, and this will show you an extreme case where you've got to plan ahead. But equally, I'm going to talk about sound effects, what I'm doing to record them, and how I'm syncing them up, considering that we're not doing anything in post-production. In post-production for this, we just send a WAV file away for the competition. I'm going to pop over to Premiere now. So I'm going to show you the project, what it is that we're looking at. So if I'll show you here. So the footage that we captured with our digital camera is this layer here. This basically is a camera that we've been recording alongside the 8mm camera. So this one will roll for whichever shot we're doing. And right next to it is the camera I'm filming on now, and that does have the mic attached to it. So we used like a lav mic, and we just attached that to the side of the film camera. And the only reason that we did that was to allow this digital camera to hear the film camera rolling. So then we know how long every take lasted just by listening to it. So we can hear Andy, the DOP, pulling the trigger on this camera. We can hear the film rattling through it, and then we can hear him unclick and cut the camera. And we can hear that for every take on the digital backup. Now, it's not a polished film that we're getting off the digital. We're using it just as a backup camera to see what the film camera relatively roughly sees, and also to hear it. So in Premiere, we can see that this whole bunch of footage right here is all roughly from the same angle that the film camera sees, and also there's me, and also this audio track here, which I'll just play this back so you can hear what I'm talking about. This is the audio of the camera rolling. So that should give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, because though these shots are all incredibly short, which we're doing in camera. There's no editing going on here per se. In a roundabout way, that's exactly what we did from start to finish for each shot. So it's all timed, and we're conscious about our edits while on set for doing this. I think I'm giving away way too much here. If anyone wants to take me on in straight 8, I'm giving you all the secrets. This is a terrible idea. Just realize that now. So Super 8 doesn't film sound. We know that. And now we have to create a soundtrack for the film. Now, obviously, with this footage, with this backup digital footage, I can see what we filmed to a degree. There's probably a small margin for error in the start and end of the clips. We have to make sure that we're really careful about the frame that we decide as our opening or our closing frame to try and make it as accurate as possible, but that's probably a discussion for another day, because we've got one debate going on as to whether or not we use part of the click from the camera that you can hear when I do this. Here's a click at the end. Click. Click. And I've included that because I think that the camera is still, technically the film is still going through the camera at that moment, which means it's being exposed, which means it goes in the film. So all of that aside, you can see them below here. I've started adding sound effects. These have been recorded with a Sennheiser microphone, which I'm using to record myself now. You could use whatever microphone you have available, or just look, if you don't have a microphone when you're recording sound effects, you just use what's on board your camera, or the worst case scenario, everyone has a phone, and the audio is not half bad if you're using it up close to something. So if you're going super indie and you don't have a great deal of gear, then phones are fine. You got to make films whatever way that you can. So no judgments from me. There's a clip here, yes, where she picks up the roll of masking tape. Now at the moment there's nothing in there for that, except my breathing, which I'll mute for now. So she picks that up. Now obviously I've got a sound effect of something being put down. Intuition's telling me that something being put down is going to sound better than something being picked up. So I'll just sync that up in here. Let's see. She needs to grab it by the time it starts. About there. Let's have a go. So, perfect example of something that isn't what I'm not recording the same thing that is being shown on screen here. Here, let's do that again. But that works. I mean, it might just be a little bit, it might be a bit early. Yeah, there you go. And all that just illustrates is that it's not always the right sound that works. I did some pieces of recording showing of something actually being picked up. It's really quiet, and to be honest, things don't make a lot of noise when they get picked up. I think I've got that sound over here. That's something being put down again. There, it's really faint actually. I don't know if you can even hear that. That's something being picked up, whereas realistically, that's going to be more effective. So just a small example there. What else have I got here? Oh, okay. Sellotape. It's quite loud. Yep. Okay. Well, let's try that. So that's going to go directly after the sellotape masking tape was picked up. Where are we here? There we go. So that's it being picked up. zoom in a bit there. And let's see. Right, so it happens quite quickly at the beginning. There we go. Oh, yeah, it's really out there. There we go. Oh, I would have to continue it again, but that works for the initial pull, and then I would need to have something else placed in here. So those are the kind of sound effects I'm doing. Obviously that's very loud, so what I'd probably do is take that down in gain. So you just right click on your clip, and if you're using Premiere, I use Premiere because I'm not very savvy with like Pro Tools. I could use Audition, but you find your audio gain settings, take that down to -6. You could do it that way, or you could also go up to the volume and the level here. So if you wanted to mix a sound effect, you could use keyframes there and do that. That's way more palatable. It's to take it down by 6 decibels. And I can see where it's peaking here. Yeah, it's -6. So that's fine by me. Let's talk about this slurping noise. Hold on to your hats here, like. So I did that, and I did a few different tones. Whoa. Oh, it's grim. I'm not a fan of that. I'll show you what that's for. That will make more sense, instead of me just playing you my slurping noise. Oh. Okay, so that was supposed to be able to be slowed down. This is probably going to be even grimmer, to be honest. Here we go. So I'm going to take that out of the way for a second and slow it down by about 50% and see what I get. Yeah, I'm trying to get this sort of weird sucking noise. And the reason being, I'll give you a little hint as to what the film is actually about. This device has started well, sucking reality away, and you can sort of see what we've been doing with that in the background there. So there's some slurping noise there that I've been using. I'm going to try this new one in place of that. Here we go. So it's okay. it's an idea. Ideas are there to be embraced, and when they don't work, thrown away. But this is just me experimenting here. So let's have a go. The other point about this sound is it's supposed to juxtapose nicely with what I'm doing, which is waiting for the kettle to boil here. So what have we got here? So that's the rift in space-time. Everything's done in camera, so you're not going to get any mega CGI. Let's pop that in here and see what happens. So it opens up about there. Have it fade in. So, right, okay. And then that will cut to. There's my kettle noise. So I know there's a similarity between the sounds, and that's kind of what I'm playing with a little bit there. And it's going to then cut back to the slurping noise again. So let's try that. That's kind of working, I think. There's an absolute ton of stuff I need to do on this film now. It's nice to be able to watch what I imagine is how the film is going to run in the end. I can't show you too much. I don't even know why I can't show you too much. I don't want to put this out into the world so that everyone sees every part of it. But it's interesting to me that you can film something on celluloid and still get to watch something back, especially for a competition like Straight 8, where you don't get your film back. We're probably going to not see the actual celluloid version of this till June, potentially. That was what happened with the last one, Fly Home. And the reason for that is that's when the premiere is. That's when they actually decide, okay, we've got all of our submissions in. Here are the chosen films. Fingers crossed we're one of them. And then you get shown then as either part of that, or they send you the film back as a digital file. So I'm super eager to see that, and I've got good reason to believe that our sync will work, and I'll show you why. When we go to, there's my lovely wife there. She's done a great job being in this movie. Here we go. So we did a test reel. Here it is. This is the straight 8 test reel. Let me just bring that up a bit so you can see it better. Alright, so we'd filmed a bit of, I'm going to mute these as well because they're going to slurp again. Alright, so you can see some bits of the actual film that we did just to test out the camera and make sure that it was working. And that whole reel lasts up until about 3:15, 3:16. That's when it cuts to white. Here, there, bam. So that's when the reel goes white. That's when the test reel is over. And if you listen to the film canister for the actual film, which is here, you'll hear the film run out pretty much exactly that moment. There you go. That for me is a good indicator that we're on the right track. If you've got any questions about sound recording and syncing, please pop them in the comments. Happy to do some more live sessions showing you sound effects, perhaps some on recording if you're interested in doing that. I do have some previous videos on sound effects, and if you're doing indie filmmaking, not for a competition like this, and you want to just get your hands on some sounds quickly, I'll link a video above that will show you some of the resources that you can use. It's been amazing doing these live sessions. I'm really keen on doing more, so if there's anything you want to hear from me, you want to see more of, just again pop it in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one.